Oh, hey, friends. Hey, as we come into focus, it's Friday, grand final, long weekend, public holiday. Who cares? Sports. Become a channel member, like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. We're just listening. You can't see what I'm listening. Occasionally, I might turn the camera around, then you'll be able to. 18 seconds in. See, using my high tech equipment. Nothing but high tech here, guys. Nature outside. Full order of things, they tell me. All right. You guys start talking, thumbing, liking, whatever. And contrary to popular belief of some of my viewers, I'm not still in Queensland. No. All right. Now, it would kind of be funny if I do this entire stream and no one's there. Blink once if you're watching. Oh my goodness me. Kenichi just jumped the length of the couch onto Poppet. Oh, there's a person. Hi. It's probably more than one, but YouTube showed me one person. So g'day. How you doing? Listing, taking accountability through my actions, cleaning stickers off op shop purchases. Don't forget you can chat. I can see that if you do it. And if you don't, then I'll have no idea who this is. But, you know, some people like voyeurism. It's fine. About to list that. V8 supercars. 3 people. Look out. It's a plethora of people. Mild marks on the disc, but totally playable. PlayStation 2, V8 supercars 2. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. If you have any questions or wondering what the heck I'm actually doing, just let me know. This is some of the stuff that I did purchase during the trip to Queensland, if you've been following the adventures. And yeah, I'm in the process of, there's more up further up and there's more down. But yeah, get it onto eBay. Put it into someone else's home. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Rye, how are you? Thanks for saying g'day. I was a little bit like, oh my God, where is everyone? Doing some listing V8 supercars. No, you can't see it. And Rye, I thought you'd be happy to see. There's some of my plushies I got. It was from a Vinnie's in Queensland. There we go. Ledbetter, how you doing? Says, hello. Hope you're well. 5 people in the room. Guys, click the thumbs. It just gets the algorithm working a little bit in my favor, please. What works even better is being like Ryan, becoming a channel member. Remember that drinking game where you take a shot if I say channel member? Channel member, channel member, channel member, channel member, channel member. Well, had a fair bit going on. So today is the official back to life, back to reality of it. And Sandra, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in and saying g'day. All right. So we'll get a little bit of listing done. Yeah, as I said, I'm not in Queensland, though the videos will show me in Queensland for, I would say at least another 2 or 3 weeks, maybe. I'll also be doing videos. Obviously, now I'm back home. Yesterday, I was out thrifting, and I've got those videos as well, but I'm going to get the Queensland ones all together in the one lot, and that way you can see the whole Queensland experience. Sounds like a good idea, Tori. I know. But yeah, I went up around Melton, Bacchus Marsh. Big shout out to the troops at the MS shop. Ken team, g'day. Graham, how you doing? Aussie Nurse Flipper, Graham, my mate. So yeah, it was a great time up there. I already miss being in Queensland. Came back to Geelong, like we had 30 degrees in Cairns the day we flew out. Came back down to Geelong and it was 13 and raining. The next day was nice. It was 24. And then, yeah, I was just like, oh my God, I wish I was back up there. Okay, V8 Supercars Australia, 2, PS2, Sony PlayStation, video game, and we'll put it in tub 6. But yeah, Cairns was just like bliss, absolute bliss. The breeze made everything so nice, and yeah, just the weather to die for, absolutely to die for. Enjoyed the hell out of it. How are you guys? I hope that you are super well. Thanks for dropping past. In case you have just come here by mistake, my name's Tori. I'm a eBay seller located in Geelong, Victoria, Australia. I document my little adventures on YouTube on a channel that you're watching right now, the Geelong-Flipper. I'm not like a professional person, and the advice that I give you is just based on my own experience. So, you know, it either works for you or it won't. Forrest, what's going on? I'm just listing, mate. I'm just listing. Trying to get back into it after Queensland. It's so funny though. Like I said, we came back on Monday, and for you guys, if you're watching the videos, I'm still in Tweed Heads. I've got one more Tweed Heads video to show you, and then we go to Coolangatta for a couple, and yeah, you've probably got about another 25 to 30 Queensland op shop videos. So yeah. Harvey Bay and Bundaberg were fantastic. Graham says, Aussie Nurse Flipper says, never been to Cairns. I love Harvey Bay and Bundaberg. I agree with you. Looking for possible places to call home later. I liked Bundy, but there was a coastal town nearby there called Bargara. For me, Bundy was beautiful, but just too dry. I hope that makes sense. Just too dried out. But if you went 17 kilometres down the road and you had Bargara there, it was amazing. When do I want to move to Queensland? I need some family stuff to get sorted. And then hopefully as soon as we can afford to. We own this little apartment here, well, a mortgage, but it's ours. And ideally we'd like to buy again in Queensland, but it's sometimes hard, I think, when your paycheck comes from just reselling, and I'm still fairly new, it's hard to get a new mortgage. So we'll see how we go. The sooner the better for me. Robert Duck Rice says, my dungeon will be your... We're always going to meet in a public space, my darling. Always in a public space. All right, let's do the V8 Supercars thing. I've been lazy all week, and I do need to list. I need to make some money. The eBay shop, the eBay shop totally shit itself whilst I was away. So let's have a look. Light marks on disc, plays fine. Full stop. Okay. Promote my YouTube channel on my listings. Yeah, very hard to mortgage as a sole trader. I agree. I've been in that position before. Well, I ran my own graphic design business for 4 years until divorce number 1, and but luckily at the time we already had the house. We were paying it off, but I didn't have to apply for the mortgage as a sole trader. So I agree, mate. Never easy. I was just saying earlier, this is some of the stuff that you guys will eventually see on the videos, the Queensland videos, some of the stock. These things are pretty cool. They're old. Check that out. Old Barney Rubble. I saw comps for these. They go for between 40 to 80 bucks. I've seen different paid ones. And also there was the old Donald Duck. I got these at the RSPCA shop for $8 each. So they were pretty neat. And yeah, there was a Vinnie's. It all blurs in, but there was a Vinnie's where I got all these plushies, and they were $1 each. So had to rip in. But yeah, so I did a video about how time away mode was affecting my business whilst on holidays. I only had 2 sales after about a week, and I tried some changes. I've got to do a proper follow-up video on that, but in case you're curious, the few small changes I made, look, they didn't elicit a lot of sales, but I think I got another 6 to 8 sales from pretty much nothing to 6 to 8 sales. So I came home and had to pack 10 things. I'm grateful for that. Because I was just like, what the hell? I know people want stuff now, but it's still frustrating when you're trying to make some coin. Promote that listing, yo. Now, if you guys have been on the hunt lately, have you found anything cool? I want to know immediately. Now, your 360 games, just so as you know, some of them will be worth money, some won't. I don't know if this will be or not. I picked it up for $2 at a Lifeline, but the whole point behind it is that the 360 games are they've shut down the digital library for them. So basically, if your customers do want to get into the 360 games, physical copies, it's the only way they can do it now. So that's a good thing to know, I think. Of course, there's going to be some bolo titles. There's going to be some shit as well. 10 of you in the room and only 5 thumbs up, guys. Unless you're lacking thumbs, wouldn't be hard to tap that little thumb. Oh, 2 people dropped out when I said that. Oh, please watch later. Oh, please watch later. But yeah, the thing that does sort of annoy me, I'm not on a $2 game, but I know that a lot of the oppos now, they're taping their cases shut, which means you got to trust some volunteers' version of what makes a good game. They might just build in shit. Let's find out. Forest Funds Online says just left Savers. Got some books. What Savers did you go to, Forest? I went yesterday in the Arvo, but I was pretty tapped out thrifting. My mate who I went with, he picked up some books that he said were worth a fair bit. It's one of those things, it's fun thrifting with friends, but when their wheelhouse is almost the same as yours, it's just like, do you punch the fuck out of them, or what do you do? Several times he was showing me things, I just snatched it out of his hand for the sake of comedic humor. I did give it back to him, but for a split second he thought I was going to keep it. All right, let's check. Saints Row the Third. Rice says you punched them. Aussie Nurse Flipper says, been picking big 360 game lots for, I know you do this when I think you dictate as well, mate. Very price. Guy tried to pick the 50-cent game. Yeah, it is a bolo. Vegas is in the house. G'day, mate. How are you? Look, there's a couple. If you hear my guts grumbling, it's because my guts are grumbling. All right, so there's only one mild mark on the disc now. It's in good nick with that. Don't know what it's worth. Let's just find out. Get the darn thing listed. Get the darn thing listed, then buy it from me. People aren't asking a lot for it. I'll ask a bit more because mine's better. Here's one for you to consider. Do you ever feel hesitant in ordering off people whose prices are too low? I do sometimes. I'm like, you've got that game up for $4 and free shipping. I don't even know how that works. I mean, I do, but with fees and everything. Vegas says, been sick with COVID for a week. Don't know what variant you have, but I haven't been able to taste anything in 4 days. I am really sorry about that one. When I felt not for nothing like that, but I had it recently and it was like, yeah, don't know what variant or whatever. But first time ever having it was horrible. Horrible. Ledbetter says depends on feedback sometimes. And Rye, and this is why we might not thrift then. Rye goes, he farts loudly next to his mate and walks away while he's looking at the books. So was that John, the reseller, not really sniffing a shoe? He was sniffing what you were cooking? Forrest Fine says, I snipe stuff online all the time. Big Handsome Pete says, g'day, mate. First time I've seen you live. Maybe watching you'll get me off my bum to do some listings. Mate, it probably won't because I don't get a lot done when I'm doing this, but it's sort of eventually I've generally list afterwards because it's just like I go, how to chat to my mates. Now I've got to actually do some effing work. This copy is very good. All right. Professional photo studio. If you haven't seen my professional photo studio, doesn't have to be fancy. My big thing is I know a lot of people fuss and finesse over their photos, and if you've got a really good, lighting situation and enough room, sure, go for it. But for me, it's like if it's not easy, I don't want to do it. I think it's more just a case of making sure the photos are clean, guys. Customer can see what the hell it is. You know, it's not like you've got some insert supermodel's name here showcasing your products for you. Aussie Nurse Flipper says, I saw a game the other day for $2.50 with free posts. I read through and think it was pickup only. That's very true. That does happen. Rubber Duck Rye says, I don't have any, meaning farts, for John. He's a snail thrifter. Wow. Left even behind a few times. Graham says he only does silent ones. Big Handsome Pete says, last thing you need is an INAD from a crap photo. Exactly. In case you guys don't know what that stands for, it's item not as described. I love myself a good acronym. Yeah, I was thinking, I could imagine John being quite meticulous, and I was hoping that he'd jump onto the live because yesterday I bought a whole heap of Matchbox cars. Now, does anyone know an easy way of identifying these? One of my mates got all excited, but he didn't want to deal with them. He goes, Matchbox hasn't done Ferraris for a long time, and I know there's a couple of Ferraris in these piles. So I think I've bought about 20 or 30 vehicles. For the most part, they are Matchbox ones. For the most part, they're over 20 years old. So, yeah, there's one of them. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to do Google Lens. Yeah, there should be, you're right, there should be a date on the bottom. So, yeah, this is a Ferrari P4 2001 Mattel. But I'm looking forward to that. That could be a learning exercise for me. I don't know a lot about the cars, but yeah, my friend was good enough to go, hey, I collect Matchbox cars, and these ones don't get made anymore. This is odd. Let's have a look here. I was about to say that's in good nick. I think this says 1968, but it seems too shiny. It does. The stamp says Mattel 1968. Just seems in such good condition. But I don't know. I'm learning. And that's the thing. I've been noticing a lot. I've had to extend the stuff I'm doing, learn new stuff. Like there's clothes up there, and you'll see me picking a few clothes in the videos, because in some places there was just nothing to get. I can't stand when someone does. Sorry, I'm just reading what Aussie Nurse Flip said. Newer Hot Wheels have other for the year. Wouldn't be Mattel if in 1968. That's fair. In just a moment, I'll. Oh, hang on. I'll just ask someone who can see. What does it say? What date does it say? 68?
Mattel Inc. 1968 Malaysia.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, Ali just checked it, and it does say 68. Her eyesight's way better than mine for this close-up stuff. Mattel Inc. 1968 Malaysia. Unless that was the year it started or something. The car is in good, very shiny, good condition. I don't know. But yeah, just learning how to sell other things. As we keep saying, there is definitely something out there for everyone. Even if it doesn't look that way, you've just got to look harder. Yeah, I'll try Google Lens, Rye. Not now, but I will. But yeah, I just thought there might be a way of adding some extra sales on. I'm assuming that with loose Matchbox cars, I probably would just send them in a padded bag or something like that. One of my cats is being a jerk to the other two cats. Star-Lord, don't be a jerk. You're on YouTube. You're being scolded on YouTube. There's 11 people watching you. The Aussie Flipper was selling a remake Hot Wheel as 1970. I tried pointing out it was early 2000s. Well, I did not know that, Rye. Let me just. Rye says, "Did you know you can use Google Lens on the Chrome browser? It's quite handy." That'll be something good to look up and explore, mate. So I will look into that. Light marks on disc. No date on the early 2000s. See, Graham, it looks as though you know your Matchbox cars, mate. I don't. I'm not going to pretend I do. I mainly grabbed it because Daniel, who you'll see on the video in about 2 months' time, he was pointing out the cars to me, and he didn't want to. Don't know why he didn't want to buy it, but he just. Oh no, he was buying clothes, and he goes, "I just can't be bothered." And I said, "Well, for $3, I can be bothered." Like I said, celebrate the small wins. I don't give a shit if I get $10 for the $3. It's still worth it. Okay, he collects the old ones. That makes sense. Cheeky bit of Forza. Got that for $2 as well at a Lifeline. That's one thing too for you guys in Victoria. The Lifelines. You okay?
Yep.
The Lifelines on in Victoria are different to the ones in Queensland. Forest Funds Online says, any other resales on YouTube you recommend watching? Yeah, look, there are. It's you're going to get little bits from all of us, I think. Unfortunately, though, this is a tough one because I feel like I'm going to step on people's toes. John Chan gives good advice. I personally really enjoy him and have gotten to know him outside of that world. So John is like a bit of a mentor to a lot of people. He's funny, but he's also deadly serious. In terms of learning, he's a really good YouTuber to watch. In terms of entertainment, if you're looking for entertainment, I don't think so as much, purely because he really wants people to succeed in business, whereas I want you to have a laugh and succeed. But sometimes I'll go more for the laugh than the business. Everything I tell you is based on what I've learned, but I think he's the number one salesperson for toys in Australia or something. So any advice that he's giving, it's based on, I think, 6 years of doing this. He would be good. I enjoy, so my mate Judder, who does Diary of a Flipper, he's entertaining, and he and I chat outside of this arena. Sometimes I find he's like bum jokes off-putting. It's just a bit too much for me. But as a person, as someone who I chat to, he's such a nice person and he's so respectful. And when it comes, it's funny. It's like he's got this bit of a show going on his show, and he's got a good following and he deserves it. But I do really, really like the information that he provides regarding especially denim. He's got his shit on lock when it comes to selling jeans. So that's something worth looking at. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Sorry, I was busy. I was being asked about other YouTube people. You've got Aussie Flipper. His name is Matt. He's located in Queensland. He stood me up at the Carrara market. However, having said that, I find that his show is informative. You've got to look past some of the more clickbaity thumbs, but his advice is generally good about like box sets and how to bundle things. So for informative stuff, most definitely, a little bit of a mix of entertainment thrown in. I don't know how he'll go now. He had someone he was employing to help out, and she's left, so she's left the show, so to speak. I think sometimes it is hard when you're recording by yourself a lot. It's good to have another person to bounce ideas off, that the viewers get another voice. It's like when I'm thrifting in all the videos, like So Ali's with me all the time when I'm thrifting, just about. But like some people don't like being on camera, she doesn't like being on camera, but you'll hear her speak. But at least I'm out there thrifting with someone. It makes it easier. Otherwise, sometimes when I'm filming and I'm by myself, it sounds silly. It gets weirdly lonely sometimes. So it is good to have those people with you and supporting you, even if the audience doesn't see them. So I think Matt does go around with his girlfriend. At least he mentioned a few weeks ago he had a girlfriend. Maybe she'll be on the show. But yeah, sometimes I find some of his stuff, like he'll tell us that he's not doing something and then he does it, and that's fine because that's the nature of it. And he is knowledgeable, but he'll go, "Oh, I'm not buying caps anymore," and then he'll buy 5 caps. "I'm not buying this anymore," but then he buys it. I just say buy whatever makes you money. In terms of the metrics, and that people are going, "Oh, I need my average sale price to be this." No, you just need to make money. I get it. At a higher level, there should be average sale prices. I get that. And he's certainly what you would consider to be a higher level seller, certainly higher than me. But I just want people to go, "Yep, okay, buy that for 2, you might get 15. Sweet. Is it worth listing? Yeah, it is." That's not my bike, it's someone riding past. Hey, Meredy, how are you? Okay, so Nurse Flipper says Matt's girlfriend's dog is on the show now. Rye says he's not transparent. I don't know. I don't know enough about that. I honestly don't. And Rye, I chat with you all the time. I know nothing about that shit. All I know, Matt, is that you didn't show up at the Carrara market. I'm on my video, a little sneak peek. I'm going to pretend to be yelling out and my voice echoing, and there's crickets. Matt, where are you? So, in case you guys don't know, I went to Queensland. I'm still there in the videos. I did go to the Carrara market, and it was really cool. I think if you went there early enough, I was 20 minutes after the gates opened. I think a lot of the flippers get there probably as they're trying to unpack. So they're snapping up the stuff. But even in my video, you'll see there's still cool stuff there. Like a guy was selling Castle Grayskull. Amazing. But he wanted $250 for it. Not amazing. Who else? There's 2 Aussie thrifters. I do like them. I think they're a couple. They're from South Australia. And so it's a guy and a gal. And I like them. They seem sincere and that they're doing quite well for themselves. So I think that's awesome. They seem nice. And they're fairly informative. So, yeah, I do them. Americans, I do watch Commonwealth Flipper, though he's a bit doom and gloom, but I still like him. I think he genuinely cares about the community, and also admire his business savvy. I was watching Hairy Tornado for a while, and I haven't so much now. I don't know. He seems nice, and probably if you do get to meet him, he's a nice person, but it's just sometimes every now and then their videos feel a bit off to me. So I'll go back to watching them, but they totally stopped being educational quite some time ago. And I need that balance. If I'm going to watch you as a reseller, I need to, sorry, I just saw something funny there. I need to have a bit of information and a bit of entertainment, which is what I hope to provide in my videos. Okay, so Aussie Nurse Flipper says the octopus saw Matt at the flea earlier this year, but didn't have a pair to go talk to him. Well, I was messaging the Aussie Flipper saying, let's catch up, and he was saying yes, and then he just gave me fucking crickets. David, dude, how are you? Sorry, the only reason I'm excited about that is David is one of my channel members. You too can become a channel member, but I don't often see comments or anything, mate. So yeah, g'day. Thank you so much for thanks so much for your channel membership, mate. It's really appreciated and it's helpful. Okay, so let's have a look here. Have you watched Justin Resells? Yes, Ali and I do like him. In case you guys aren't aware of Justin Resells, he is an American guy, quite kind of mousy looking dude with a beard, very serious, talks about what's sold for the week. He is informative. He's educated himself on a lot of things. The only thing I don't like about that channel is that sometimes he's got this software for reselling, and I think, oh, there you go. David does use his Flipwise app. Okay, well, in that case, let's give him some free airplay, Dave. Is it any good? Because I'm sick of how much he mentions it on the show. If it's good, then that's a good tool and it's good to know. But it just sometimes it feels like his whole video is to promote that Flipwise tool. So yeah, tell me what you think of it. Okay, so David says he loves it. It has helped him. Okay, see, that's good. That's really good, and that's what we want. Useful tools. I mean, there's some eBay YouTubers that okay, let me just quickly go through these comments because they're more important than what I'm waffling about. Okay, so Aussie Nurse Flipper says that Octo uses it can be expensive. I thought it was a fixed cost. Don't know much about that. David says, help me find where I was losing money. Once again, that's good too. Though I think sometimes you can tweak the seller hub to give you some of that data. So that's something to consider. But no, I do enjoy the Justin Resells channel. And guys, if you do want to learn a bit, though sometimes it's skewed toward American things, so they don't really work for Aussies. And Vegas, I know you're in the house, so you might want to watch Justin Resells because it talks about some American stuff that doesn't pertain to us at all. Same as the Commonwealth Flipper does talk about American taxes and stuff that we've got the goods and services tax over here in Australia. Doesn't pertain to us. Merity says, Graham says, goes on how many listings you have. Good for a small store, Merity says, but very expensive for a large store. That's why I haven't bothered. Stylist Wardrobe, hello. Business and Banter podcast and tech and sports. If you're business minded, I've been doing this for 18 years and I'm a business seller, but still motivating even if you're a smaller seller. Carol's in the house saying hello. Hey, Carol, channel member. G'day. Okay, so that's an interesting one, stylists. I do watch tech and sports on occasion, and I do find it interesting. Another one, guys, if you want to go back, Ali put me onto this one, Daily Refinement with Chris. Go back to the earlier videos where he is just a smaller eBay seller. I think you'll get a lot more out of it as eBay sellers because now he has upscaled his operation massively. I guess depending on where you are in your journey would be where you take up watching Daily Refinement, but very informative. He's part of a little conglomerate, which I believe one of our Australian YouTube booksellers is also a part of, where you pay X amount a month and they'll mentor you. So the tech and sports, his intro always throws me because he goes, my name's Tech and I used to be the #1 seller of used men's clothing. What are you now? That's the part I don't understand. I would not be promoting that I used to be. Why wouldn't you still be the #1 seller? Don't know. Maybe he's got other business concerns that are out of eBay, but I do find I like his thrifting videos, and I believe his heart's in the right place within that framework. Big Handsome Pete asks, Tech and Sports got banned off eBay. I got no idea, mate. I don't follow all that sort of stuff. That would make sense, though. Hi, my name's Tech and Sports. I used to be #1 seller till I got thrown off the platform. Merity says a lot of people are not in the Daily Refinement group. They swap to Tech. Carol says he's a millionaire now, living the dream, he said. Aren't we all? Okay. This one, Forza Motorsport, doesn't go for a lot. I'm just going to put $14 on it plus postage. There's cheaper including, but this is in really good condition. Stylist says he's retired and still has a small store selling hats and has a few other businesses. You know what? More power to him. That'd be nice. I guess it's one of those whole things, you know, without context, you wonder. You know what I mean? Just giving the old disc a polish with the official Geelong-Flipper kneecap. Yep, that's it. Hoochie mum. Okay, I only looked at the first disc. This one, I don't know if you can see it, but let's see. Hey computer, hey me. Yeah, you can sort of see it around there. I think this disc may actually be Cactus. Tekken Sports makes $5 million a year, charging Aussies $60 a month for his group. I'm going to chuck that one out because that disc is buggered. Oh, well, next. Paid $4 for this one at a Vinnie's. Force Unleashed. Xbox 360. I enjoyed this game when it came out. Vinnie's sold as is. The other one didn't say sold as is. Otherwise, they would have had to write on it, sold as unplayable. But look, I am sure there's tons of other really cool resellers out there. Stylist says, let's have a look here. Comments, group members are really positive about eBay, and that's what I love. Yeah, I like that too. I think a lot of people slam eBay when it's a source of income for us. You know, don't bite the hand that feeds. Forrest asks, are you playing any other games at the moment? Yes, I am. I'm playing the new Star Wars Outlaws, and yeah, so basically Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm playing Metal Gear 5 again because I love it. I finished it once before, but I only went up to mission 30, not realizing that there are 22 little side missions afterwards that wrap up the story. So I'm doing that again. Carol asks, how is the storage unit? Is it far from you? And is the rent cheap enough? It's not far. It's only a couple of kilometers away. And yeah, it is more than worth it to get our home back because I had too much stock and I was getting more as I was ramping up. So it was good for Ali and I to be able to move our stuff out of there, and we just control the stock that comes in. This is stuff that I'm going to be listing and bringing down into the tubs. And yes, so Michelle writes, I was playing Forza with my son and he said you can rename the car. So I clicked on M and enter instead of the next letter, and the whole car became Morza. Yeah, you might have wanted to change the whole name, but you bloody well didn't, did you? Okay, so that's in good nick. Let's go and have a quick Bo Peep, see what's going on here. Cancel that listing. If any of you guys are into your video games, there's a few good video game channels as well, though they are mainly American. I don't know if there's any good Australian video game reseller YouTube channels. It's harder for you Americans watching. It's harder for us to get video games, and it appears to be for you. It's if you go into an op shop and you see other than like SingStar, you're in luck because the pickings are terrible as a rule, and it's kind of a fluke to get anything substantial, in the oppos. And the sad thing is, like your Facebook Marketplace and the like, they're over here. They're kind of nuts. They want to clear stuff, but they want absolute top retail dollar for it, which just doesn't work. Garage sales might be your best bet. Yard sales, you guys call them. But yeah, games are hard to get in the op shops unless you know someone and they're holding it for you, which they're not meant to be doing. But I know we all try to build relationships with our friends in the thrift space. It makes sense. It's what you do if you're a savvy operator anyhow. All right, so this game doesn't go for too much, though mine's in super good condition. It is complete. And once again, the 360 games, some of them I think it's worth holding off on or even pricing up a little bit higher. Someone might buy it off you, or you may do a 20% off if you've got an eBay store. And starting off that little bit higher gives you a bit of room to negotiate and send what seem to be good offers out to anyone who's interested. So that's just food for thought. You may be able to, by creating that perception of saving, you may be able to facilitate a better sale. Right, I'm not reading that. Saver slips up on games every now and then. Yeah, I noticed that. It's just hard though too, because they tape up some of their game bundles. I did see they had the orange box at the Savers I went to yesterday in Deer Park. I think it's called Deer Park. I live in an apartment complex, so if you can hear the kids screaming in the background, so can I. Probably didn't do the ironing properly this time. Just jump into the... I'm not saying it. But yeah, getting back to the video games, it looks like there's a few good ones coming out. I'm well behind. I'm preferring very immersive, long campaigns. I'm not one of those people. I used to buy all the Call of Duties when they come out and play them single player. Nowadays, they're focusing so much on the multiplayer that I just don't see the point. I don't like online. I'm not good at it, which doesn't help. I mean, it's fun to run around with your mates for a bit, but if you're not really good at multiplayer online, I prefer the single player campaign. I get to enjoy an immersive story, play it at my own rate. And I find for the most part, at least playing against the computer, I go okay. So I do get to enjoy that. Metal Gear, there is no curve. You either pass it or you don't. Or if you screw up enough, you can wear this thing called a chicken hat, which I've had to do a couple of times. The Star Wars game is good as well. It seems to ramp up as you do. So that's been neat. Have I ever been to the Carrum Downs Savers? I don't know. Do you know if we have? We went to 4 in the one day. I haven't put out the video yet, but Ali and I went to the four Savers in one day. And by the end of it, I was cactus. It was like having to drive from Geelong to the first Savers is like an hour and 15 minutes. And then we kept moving across. I don't know if it's on the video, but I do like the Savers. I think there is, if you get there at the right time, it is worth doing. Let's have a look here. Graham got a good deal the other day on Facebook Marketplace. She had make an offer. There were 5 limited edition games. And then I see the number 31 there, mate. I don't know if that's the end of your sentence. Right, off camera, I'll chat with you. As you know, I've got a bit going on, but I do want to come and see you. And I was thinking, depending on what we've got going on, it might be, I'm thinking maybe Tuesday, unless I've got something on. but I'll get to you off camera. 31 games all up with 4 controllers. Limited edition ones were over $50 each sold price. I offered 70 as a bit of a joke, and she took it. Brilliant, mate. It's, at the end of the day, everyone sees value, different value in things. So she probably saw the value in not having that crap in her house anymore. That's what I need. I need to work on book lots. My passion's books and video games. You'll see me selling a lot of other stuff, but if I could really drill down, it would be predominantly kids' books and video games. That's what I enjoy. They're easy to list. They're easy to post. Let's have a look here. Forest Ass Ringwood Savers. Dude, like Melbourne for me, even though I'm only like 60 kilometres away, unless it is Melbourne or St Kilda or Richmond because the IKEA is there, I am a lost cause. I don't know if I think I've posted the Richmond flips that I did. They were good. Found some really cool stuff. Found a pair of Converse there for $20. They were like this. They're called waterproof Converse, and I flipped them back out for I think it was either 99 or $109 from 20. That was money well spent. Stylists, are you from near here? I am so sorry if you are. Because Ali loves them too. We love St Luke's Op Shop in Torquay. It's a good shop. Another one we really enjoy, and channel members have known about this for a while because I put it in as exclusive content. Doesn't matter now because the channel members have had it for well over a month, 6 weeks even. Is the one in Bowen Heads. I think it's called All Stars or All Saints, something like that. I don't know. Rye, can you remember? But yeah, I did that one. And there is another super secret op shop location in the channel members section too, which I won't tell you about just yet because I might see if Ali wants to go there tomorrow because we haven't been out there for a long time. So yeah, there's some good ones. Stylus is in Lara. I love the Lara Oppos. They are so cool. The one in like that community center, and then you have to go past a churchy one to get to it. And then there's the Salvos there. They're the 3 I know of anyhow. I do like them. Forrest says closer to the city, the worse the savers are. That makes sense, I think. The Footscray Savers, I definitely know where that is, the Deer Park one. And then, I don't know, there's 2 more north of that, and that's where we went. And by the end of it, I was just like, I'm so done. And we still had nearly, I think, an hour and a half to 2 hours drive back home from there. So those days for filming, they're fun. We find some stuff, and I'm lucky, she's just there, but I'm blessed that I go op shopping with both, my soulmate and my best mate. So the day is always fun, but we're generally knackered at the end of a big run like that. It's the same as when we did Bendigo in one day and smashed the pooper out of it, because we also did Dalesford and Castlemaine. That was knackerage at the end of the day, but it's just like, well, at least we can go at a bit more chill pace, stop, have lunch, make sure that we're, got someone to check in on you. It's good. Preston Savers is good for plush toys. Aussie Nurse Flip says, I want to try Savers one day. I only go to church op shops. That's right. They're good prices. I get that. Look, it is just one of those things where the Savers are good, but I think it's just you got to be there at the right time. They don't seem to give a shit about what they put out, so I think you do have a chance of getting treasure. Though yesterday I went to buy clothing because there was nothing else I was after, and everything like in the sports area, every single top or T-shirt was $15 each. $15. They had $26 sneakers there. I was like, you know what? Go F yourself. You'll hear me say that on the video because these sneakers were cooked and cracked and crap, and they wanted $26 for them. No, your boy Tory ain't doing that. Style says, yeah, just 3 op shops here. They are pretty good. You just sell design on women's clothing, so not a lot. Yeah, Melbourne op shops tend to stick to Melbourne op shops. Merity says the Savers I used to go to in Adelaide is more expensive than Salvos. I don't know how that's possible. We hit 1 or 2 salvos in Queensland that I did like. They didn't seem to be as greedy as the ones down here. Okay, let's have a look here. Aussie Nurse Flipper says, my missus has a great eye for fashion, used to be a manager of a boutique, but she hates secondhand. Not allowed to bring anything into the house as she says it's bad luck. Okay, so Mrs. Aussie Nurse Flipper, Tori here, your mate, Tori boy, Geelong-Flipper from Geelong. It's not bad luck to keep something in use that would be thrown into the tip. We all know this, and your hubby knows how to make some money out of it, so let him bring it in. Rye says 20% off vouchers at Savers. Just bring a box of unwanted crap. I always forget. Yesterday I went to Savers and my friend Daniel was driving, so I didn't even know I was going till he tried to convince me that Savers was on the way back home to Geelong, which it wasn't. Okay. Forrest says Savers would put a vintage $200 shirt for $3.99, but it came up plain T-shirt for $15.79. I do see a bit of, stuff not quite right there, but it is just one of those things, I guess. It's when you're hunting, you're literally hunting. So, yeah. David asks, what's the Belmont market like these days? It's good if the weather's good. For hunting, it's useless, I feel, for the most part. You've got the mum and dad boot sales that you generally have the best chances with. Otherwise, it's a bunch of the same old crowd selling stuff constantly. And I don't know. We've bought a couple of things there to flip, but for the most part, I generally walk away just having bought a drink, not stock. I've got a couple of T-shirts there in the past. See, there's even a lady inside that sells toys, and they're decent toys, but she knows they're decent. So they're more than what you'd pay to flip. But as just someone who wanted a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for $5, yeah, you'd buy it. But for me to buy that same action figure for $5 to maybe get 12 out of it, I guess I do have a sliding scale. Not everything is a great victory. I'm not spending $5 to make 12, not on purpose anyhow. Dave says, used to sell books there every week 20 years ago. One of my mates does sell books there, and he does quite well. So it certainly, there is a market for them there. It's silly though, because you go inside and the books are $8 a book. They're very good quality, but then you go outside and mum and dad are selling them for $1 to $2. I would probably just set up a stall, go outside and buy all their books, and then sell them inside for $6 to $8. You'd actually flip while you were there selling. Ali and I have done stalls there, predominantly dealing with bric-a-brac and just stuff that we didn't want to put on eBay. We had decent success. I mean, I was working another job at the time, so Ali would set up and then I'd come and help her. We were doing it in the warmer weather, which certainly helped too. And I think as long as you've got a keen business sense and are happy to negotiate, you can make a few $100 there each Sunday. We were doing that. So I'm sure there's people that make a lot more than that. But considering we were predominantly moving stock that we weren't that wasn't selling on eBay, or rather we didn't want to sell on eBay. One day I'll get my wording right. All right. When I was in Tweed, I'll show you. I'm not going to list these now, but I'll show you them. So I got, well, you'll see the price, but this was at the RSPCA shop. There must be, there's another disc there. So the 6 seasons of Nurse Jackie, and I picked them up the whole lot for $6. And yeah, that's in the next video that goes up, actually. I've just got to edit it and do my smart-ass comments. By the way, are you guys enjoying the voiceovers? Because I know that everyone here pretty much watches my channel normally. Do you like the voiceovers? I have fun doing them. Just as you know, I'm not really sassing everyone that I come into contact with. If you hear me a bit clearer, it's me really talking to them. And if you hear a bit of a sort of noise, it's me talking into the microphone afterwards, having a bit of fun. Thanks, Carol. I'm glad you like them. But yeah, $6. And these I saw comps for about 50 to 60 bucks, I think it was. Right, thank you. So if you can find them cheap like that, that's worth getting. And all the discs were in there. I checked them. This was another Lifeline game. It is taped closed, so it's sort of like a bit of a mystery box. Yeah, $2 at Lifeline. And it's got Viva Pinata in it. 360 we're doing the double disc games. And it's got Forza 2 in there, a bundle copy. It's meant to be one of those, you know, not for individual sale. I think it was like a promotional one that maybe came with the console to give you a bit of a kid's game and a bit of a game for dad or mum when the kids weren't there. Aussie Nurse Flipper says, I enjoy the voiceovers. We should say it in real life to people. Mate, I'd probably get the chop suey smacked out of me, especially if someone didn't hear it correctly. But look, I'm a little bit cheeky in real life, but it's better that if people can see you smiling or whatever, that they know. And often I will joke and I'll forget to smile. So Carol says you can't exactly tell a kid to move out of the fucking way. Yeah, you can. Style says gives me a laugh. Good. No, I do love it. I love the interaction. It was nice yesterday. I think we went to a few oppos in Bacchus Marsh and Melton, and I had 2 or 3 people who were familiar with the channel come and say good day. That was nice. So if you ever see me out, please come and say hello, because I do like it. I did this to help people and make friends. So, you know, it's that's what it's all about. Okay, so Viva Pinata. Let's see if the old kneecap polish will fix the marks on it. Yes, they did. That'll play. Many years ago, I worked at a video shop and had to polish these discs all the time. And you get a rough idea for what will survive the playing. These games, that they were on DVD, so they're extremely durable. Blu-ray discs are not as durable because they contain far more data. So you can put this into a buffer and give it a good clean up. And even though it'll look as though it's got swirly marks the whole way around, the console's laser will be able to read it, not a problem. So Viva had slight marks. Let's see if Forza was played a lot. It's got weird, like little, sometimes they have like weird speckle marks on them. And it's weird. It looks as though You always think it looks as though, I don't know if you can see them here. Probably not. It's hard to do it like on the camera. But there's, anyhow, you can't see it. Oh, g'day me. I'm me. You can you can most definitely still play these. They just look like, oh, there you go. You can see it now. But it does look as though gravel's hit the top of them. Rye, you are just wrong. Okay, so Viva Pinata double pack. Firstly, g'day Dan. Dan Black has commented here, and I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. You've written favourite op shops on your Queensland trip? Question mark. Did you find better treasures away from the coast tourist areas? Favourite op shops. That's a really good and tough question all at the same time. I think it's hard because it's just different. I found different up in Queensland. I think, look, we've got lovely people at the op shops down here, but you combine it with the weather and everything, and just people seemed a bit more, for the most part, more welcoming and inviting up there. And even though they didn't know that I was a tourist, even though I had a shirt that said I'm not from here, I didn't really. But look, in terms of places that I thought, you know, the RSPCA shops, in terms of people being nice, Bundy had a really good op shop environment. Though, like I said, and just in case you have only just jumped in, could we live in Bundy? No, we don't want to live in Bundaberg. I would happily live in Bargara, which is like 17 kilometres away, and then source from Bundaberg. But it was so dry. We went to the Bundy distillery there. That was fun and interesting. The one thing I just realised after we'd left those, they didn't show us the bottling process. I think that would have been fascinating. They just showed you a quick tour of where it's made, which was interesting, but not how it was poured together or anything. I guess they don't because of industrial espionage. Like Bundy does have its own particular flavour. And then at the end of the tour, they let you try some of their you get two drinks. You can either drink them straight or have them with a mixer. And they had this top shelf one, which was $280 a bottle. I tried a shot of that. It was nice, but they were saying, but it tastes like whiskey, because I'm a Scotch drinker. And I was like, well, so I can pay $280 for the rum that tastes like whiskey, or I can pay $50 for a bottle of Johnny Red or Johnny Gold if I really want to treat myself. So I liked that. We tried one called a Bundy Silver. That was really, really, really nice. And we brought home a bottle I think it's called a Rum Ball, and it tastes like a dessert liqueur. It's quite nice. It's a lower alcohol content, but it's something like I remember in the old days where you might have mixed like Kahlua and milk. In this, you definitely, it's a coffee liqueur, tasting coffee liqueur. It's very nice. And the bottle's really nice. It's dimpled and it looks fancy. Stylist just said my auntie just moved to Bargara from Warrnambool and they love it there. I do not blame her at all. Bargara was just lovely. Lovely. So that was good. Cairns was good. Townsville was good for flipping. Lots of op shops there. Mackay was good. I really enjoyed Mackay, and got to meet Clint, one of the viewers from Mackay. He was awesome. His son Jesse. That was an absolute blast catching up with them, and they thrifted out the Vinnies there with me. And we also went to this massive church, Trinity Church, I think it was called. And The Trinity Church was a massive oppo, but didn't impress me on the pricing. Mackay was weird. They had a ton of little op shops, and they could have done with some superstores there. It would have supported it, I think. I think it would have done well. But you'll see it all in the video. We like every op shop I went to, guys, I filmed it for you guys. So I hope you don't get too sick of Queensland, because there are a lot of videos to come. That's why I thought I should throw some lives in that. Like, you guys have got weeks left of Queensland op shops. And I don't want to start chucking the Victorian op shops back into the mix, because it does actually confuse some people who may not understand that I can film and then edit later. Yeah, like I said yesterday, I had someone come up in one of the shops in the ladies auxiliary at Bacchus Marsh, and they went, Geelong-Flipper, and I said, oh yeah, g'day, how are you? And I realised I'd met them before, and she said to me, I thought you were still in Queensland. Your latest video is still in Queensland. I'm like, yeah, I filmed up in Queensland, but I'm putting them all out now. So I don't think I'm going to mix up Geelong and Queensland. So you guys will have to put up with me for the rest of that trip. Now, just in the case of just being fair, guys, I'm going to stay on for another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to bail. So if you do have any questions or any comments, or if you do want to jump on board and become a channel member, that would be really appreciated. It does help a lot more. I know YouTubers go on about it, but just knowing that little bit of extra finances coming in to help out, it makes a massive difference. So channel members, I know there's multiple of you here. Thank you so very much. But if anyone else wants to join, you do get access to early advance watching of my videos. I'll send private messages there. You know, we had some not great news on the Queensland trip, and you know, I share that sort of stuff. Share good stuff too, though. But yeah, if you have any questions, keep on letting me know, and I'll answer them. The perks won't let you upgrade, Carol. I think it is just an upgrade path, because I know that I think Dave started at one level and upgraded to the next. Oh, Rye. You are funny, Rye. You didn't have to give away a membership. But thank you. That was very sweet. Thank you, mate. Okay. Now Panda's gonna. Was that just a random selection? Because Panda, have you been chatting? I haven't seen you. I don't think I've seen you chat for a while, if ever. Oh well, welcome to the channel membership, courtesy of Rubber Duck Rye. Oh my God. Well, that's a channel membership that may not last the 30 days. Okay, let's have a look here. Listing. Oh, this is one of those. You can't do it like that. Cancel. Go back to the search. Thank you, Rye. You do enough for me. You don't have to give me money on the stream. I appreciate it, though. Oh, my God. So this game has got a sold comp with $3.50 on it. Tells you ain't selling it for that. Anybody got time for that? So yeah, I loved op shopping up there. I can tell you right now though, Cairns had the weirdest had some great oppos, and there was this Lifeline honestly, you guys, I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but on our last day, we had an hour, 1 hour, and Ali and I hit 6 op shops. We didn't shop. We ran around to get pricing that we could talk to you guys about it. But I filmed 6 op shops in 1 hour. We just sprinted in, sprinted out. And one of them, this Lifeline at Roundabout up there, had Doc Marten sandals for $80. They left the old price on their $239 or whatever it was. I don't give a shit. That's expensive. That's expensive for a tourist buying them. It's expensive for somebody who wants to flip them. The prices were absolutely crazy nuts. And yeah, Queenslanders are very, very friendly people. The pace is slower. I like that a lot. Geelong's not too bad for that. Melbourne can get a bit hectic. But yeah, Queensland's slow. I like it. Slower, friendlier. It's just good. Even like on some of the highways, we had only one experience where we were driving where this guy, a lot of speeding on the highways, but just where someone nearly cleaned us up. And it was when we first landed in Brizzy. We got our camper van and went out to Toowoomba, and it was just leaving the outskirts of Brisbane. We had to go off one of these off ramps, and someone basically just charged around everything and nearly smacked into the back of our RV, then beeped at us like it was our fault, then proceeded to weave in and out of traffic like a lunatic. So that wasn't fun. Aussie Nurse Flipper says, Ben Lee, double cast run for the win. 100% better than Bundy. You would drive past it and be seen from the highway. Don't know. If you guys follow the AFL, I don't, but if you do, I hope that you have fun watching it. Whatever you're doing, keep safe. Public holiday in Victoria today. I don't know. It's like people say to me, who do you barrack for? And I don't really barrack for anyone. But mum and dad barrack for the Cats. So if, I guess technically just because I love mum and dad and that's their team, that's who I barrack for. But I personally don't give a shit. I didn't even know that the Cats were out of the grand final. I know I said this before, but I'll keep saying it. I hate when people type caps in their listing and then you're stealing their listing. So now I have to go and correct it. And I don't know if Carol, thank you for the question. I won't answer it on a live stream, but thank you for asking. And I know that you're not being insensitive, but yeah, I don't want to talk about that on live stream. Viva Pinata. No, not at all, Carol. Don't be sorry. You did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong at all. She's still with us, but I'll get a bit too emotional if I talk about it here and now. It's not going great. Real Aussie Reseller. I love that name. When are you moving to the Sunshine State? Mate, as soon as I effing can. No, in all reality, I would love it to be as soon as possible. I know it won't be. We've got a lot of stuff that we need to get sorted and finances to get sorted. But we've both just said, well, even if we don't move up as fast as we'd like, we will make sure that we maybe go up there during some of the colder periods. So we'll be part-time Queenslanders until we're full-time, something like that. I'm in love with the place. I miss it. I've missed it ever since the first time I went up there as an adult. And every time I go, it makes me love it even more. So I can't wait to be a Queenslander at some point. Right. What's wrong with caps using caps? Apparently the eBay algorithm doesn't like caps. I can't remember where I learnt that from, but some time ago it was like apparently the AI algorithm reader thingy doovy, it literally reads the caps as yelling. Joking, N. Joan King. I hate it. All right. Let's have a look here. Hey, Rye, can you tell Carol how to upgrade? And because I don't know. She wants Grand Flip. And she's having trouble upgrading to it. Like I said, Carol, at the moment, Rye's been patient with me as my only Grand Flip member. I haven't contributed as much of that as I should. You know the reason why I haven't, but Rye's known about that for some time as well. So, yeah, there will be stuff coming though. I'm going to be recording a couple of the things I've written for uni, short stories, poems. So if you guys want to be in the Grand Flip, basically the content that you get is if you like the stuff I write, I'm an author in case you hadn't been made aware of that. And I've got 8 books out on Amazon under Tori Favreau. The easiest one to look up would probably be The Dead of Egypt. They're all zombie horror stuff. My latest book is called Tin Man. It's a retelling of The Wizard of Oz. It's super violent, 300 odd pages. I'm really proud of that one. So you can see my stuff on Amazon. I'm pretty open about all that stuff. Rice says, let me see. I'm happy to support you regardless as to help with your writing too. I know, and I thank you. I was talking to Ali about that the other day, and we both appreciate how supportive you've been. So thank you. It's good to know we've got a good friend in you. Light marks on disk rendering it unplayable. Please buy. Just kidding. Okay, so let's have a look here. Graham says, go Brisbane Bears. Real Aussie Resale says, go the Bloods. I don't know what that is. I'm not a sports person, but I do know about the Brisbane Bears because, Graham, I actually went to the first game ever at, I think it was Carrara. Mum and Dad drove up specifically and took my sister and I in a little car up to Queensland, and we went and saw the Cats play the Brisbane Bears in their first game ever at Carrara. And then recently, Ali and I drove past the ground, which looks nothing like the ground I knew. And yeah, that was where I'd been when I was a little kid. Bloods are Swans. See, I'm old enough that the Swans for me were South Melbourne before they became Sydney, and I never knew that they'd become called the Bloods. But is there a Crips? Are we talking about gang warfare? Is there stuff going on I need to know about? Right, guys, I've almost finished doing this listing. Rye, have you been able to figure out how Carol can do that upgrade? I know that David did an upgrade. So I know it's possible. I think maybe you just got to jump into the channel thing again, Carol, into the channel membership, and it'll give you an upgrade path, maybe. In reference to the bright red diagonal sash on their white jumpers, the colourful epithet, the bee. Okay. You're just throwing random stuff out there now. Warwick, go Warwick Kappa. I don't think he's watching. Okay, so Carol, I don't think we can DM through YouTube, but if you want, you can hit me up on Instagram. It is just still Geelong-Flipper, and Rye might be able to figure out how you can upgrade, and then we'll get that worked out. So please just hit me up on Insta. I do answer, and I'll answer this one last question. Forrest asked me, what was my last job before doing reselling? I've been doing reselling and working for a bit, but the last job I had was literally chucking bread on shelves at a bakery in the morning, or supermarkets in the morning, and then I'd come home, I'd write, and then I'd do my YouTube stuff, which does earn me a small amount of, very small amount of income, and my eBay stuff, which was the majority of it. I've let the ball drop with my mother's health not being great. I've got to pick the ball back up again and run with it. But yeah, so my last job was chucking bread onto supermarket shelves. Carol says, are you still going to sell everything, or are you going to target a certain niche? Carol, to be honest with you, at the moment, mate, I don't feel that I have a proper niche. One of my aims when I got started was just simply to sell stuff to, like, for example, these are my little death books, or these are two of them. I'll show you, and then I'll go, just in case you're not familiar. I can't reach the other. Can I reach the other two? I'm going to crawl on the floor. I did not set this up very well. Maybe not when I'm doing a live stream, but so I basically should you StreamYard for your lives? I've got to look into it, mate. I don't have a clue. So that's my book, Tin Man. As you can see, it's not like a baby book. It's 300 and something pages. That's the Wizard of Oz, super violent one. This is my first full novel that came out, 134 pages, more of a novelette, but The Dead of Christmas. It's about the CIA. It's about aliens, zombies, conspiracy theories, flat Earth. The sequel to that is called The Dead of Egypt. And then I started doing this series called Little Death Books. They're like golden books. And like they're like fully illustrated, like a golden book, but they've got like horror. They're horror stories, but they're done in like a little kid format. Forrest, if you do order The Death of Christmas, firstly, Dead of Christmas, sorry, thank you, because my sales have been down this month. But it leads nicely into The Dead of Egypt. If you've got enough money to order both, the first book is only like a 2 or 3 hour read. The second book is more substantial. It's nearly 200 pages. But yeah, The Dead of Christmas leads nicely into the second book. So you'll have a character in this one that eventually becomes the main character in the next book, and it will gel well. And I'm 3/4 of the way through the third book, The Dead of Easter, and there's some nice, no pun intended, Easter eggs in that book for fans of the series. So people who you've seen before, you'll see again. They aren't the main characters, but it ties the universe all in nicely. I'm 120 pages into the sequel of this book, Tin Man. It's called Lion. And in this one, the Tin Man is a bikie or a gang member. Dorothy is a cage fighter. It's very violent. It's very funny, I think. But it's a love story too. It's a story about family and how family doesn't have to be the same color or even the same blood. It's your family can be whoever you need it to be. The next book, Lion, is about a sniper who is in Emerald City. And then there's Scarecrow. They're all plotted. I know what happens in them all. I just got to write them. And I've got, there's 5 in this series. Forrest, they're all on Amazon, mate. So, yeah, just go into Amazon if you want to order them. Or, yeah, otherwise, some people want signed copies. I can do that. So if you do want a signed copy of anything, you can either wait till I see you on the hunt, or yeah, you can order off me directly, but just hit me up through Instagram for that, because I don't know how to do it through here. But yeah, they're my books, or some of them. Others I sold out of my copies at home. So yeah, it's been a fun ride. But I started doing eBay to help pay, because each of these books cost me hundreds to pay for the illustrator, because I can't draw. So yeah, I'm just trying to recoup my costs back off them. And I'm doing I don't know if you guys would be interested in this, and it's okay if you're not. I am doing a horror story called The Monkey Clap. Now, it's basically what the story's about, and hopefully you guys who are watching afterwards watch this long. But you know the Jack in the Boxes, you turn the box, and then pop goes the weasel. But in this particular story, there is a guy he finds at a thrift shop. He finds this rusted box with a handle on the side, and he eventually jimmies it open. And instead of the Jack coming out, it's literally one of those horrible-looking monkeys with the symbols. And every time the monkey claps, something bad happens. The idea is, though, what I'm going to be doing is, as the guy realizes that the box is possessed and trying to do something about it, things will come into play. And what I need to do, because I need to go somewhere next year, I'm not allowed to say where yet, but I need to raise a couple of $1,000 to get overseas as an author, to go to something. And I will write in the Monkey Clap for Patreons or people who want to donate. I'll write you in as a character that gets killed by the monkey. So you can give me rough ideas of how you want to be killed. And basically it can be, for a low level contribution, your name might just be on a wanted sign or scrawled down a tunnel wall. For higher donations, it'll be the chapter name is your name, and I kill you off in that chapter. So I think it'll be nice and a little bit interactive. If you're interested, hit me up on Instagram, Geelong-Flipper or Tori Favreau. So Rye wants to be killed brutally. Can do. Guys, I'm going to go. Graham, I see that, mate. Look, I ended up not even taking the books with me, but I can always send them up to you. We can work that out. Carol, get in touch with me through Instagram, and if you want to die that way, sure. Actually, Carol, if you do, I know how I can make that work, because what's going to happen is the first clap is going to cause a fire. Second clap is going to do something a little bit worse. But it may even be that when the monkey claps, you could be eating at a restaurant with a friend and choke to death on that chocolate. Possibilities are endless, but I need to get to America. And I'm looking forward to writing this story, because I know how it finishes, and it's pretty effing hectic. Let's just say it leaves it open for a second story, but it finishes up nicely otherwise. All right, guys. Speaking of finishing up, I went overtime as always. Get in touch with me via Instagram if you do want to be involved in the Monkey Clap. And thank you as always for taking the time to watch me. It's appreciated. I really do appreciate it. But I'm going to have some lunch, and then I might actually do some real listing for a little bit, and maybe even go for a walk because the sun's out. Yeah. And I also heard that a local op shop is missing quite a few volunteers. So some of the prices that are coming out of it are quite nice too. One of the majors. So might go and have a bit of a bo peep there as well. I'll let you know how I go. Maybe. All right, guys. Later. Bye.